Hey everybody, Max here, and today I will be completing my Action Force Vanguard review series. This is part 3, and I will be taking a look at the H.A.U.L, the Heavy Armor Upgrade Loadout Accessory Pack. So nice to have some extra armor to go onto this thing and give it a little character. So we got some new doors, we get a brush guard, we get a cow catcher, and we get some different windows to install there so we can install the M240. This is pretty cool box. Pictures on the back of what comes in it. And surprisingly, I didn't notice this at first, 3 action points. So that's great. Glad that we like those action points. But before I get into what you see here, I want to do a little addendum to my part 2 review because I didn't go over the fact that it comes with an owner's manual or operator's manual. And so it has some instructions on how to operate and change out everything, sticker placement suggestions, all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool that it comes with that. The H.A.U.L also comes with an operator manual, so I'll go over that. And another thing that I also forgot to mention was that the Vanguard comes with a set of stickers as well as a file card for the Reaper. So you can pause the video and read that if you would like. And I really like the fact that it comes with stickers. I'm as a kid, obviously playing heavily with my vehicles, stickers sometimes would peel and get dirt and stuff underneath them. So I don't know if I'm going to use these or not. I mean, I'm not going to be taking this out into the grass and running around with it. It's probably going to stay on a shelf. Occasionally, I might take it out and do some photography. But I'm thinking that I may use these. So it's really cool that you have some whites and blacks and just lots of different things, crossing out the swarm and garrison, things that you've taken out, has different caution blast stickers, caution stickers, hatch stickers, student drivers, some comedic little bumper stickers. I will probably put this one here. If you hear gunfire, you were too close. I'll probably use that one. But it's pretty cool that it comes with that. So I didn't mention that in part 2. I wanted to mention it here. And I also wanted to point out that I forgot a piece. I didn't realize it. I forgot about it. And there's this little hook piece here that your 240 can latch onto. So this right here goes in the back, but if you want, you can attach it to this thing. I thought this went with the H.A.U.L because you can mount mount this thing, and I'll show you how it's done. But I thought this piece went with the H.A.U.L, but it didn't. It comes with the Vanguard, and you can fit it in these different slots. And so, if you don't want to have the dual 50s, you can have the 240. And it moves forward. It doesn't, so it rotates and goes up and down, so you can do that. It looks cool. I'm glad that we have that option, but I probably won't display it with that because this thing is really beginning to annoy me. Keeping this thing, that I just feel like the peg and the peg hole are not robust enough to keep this thing attached. So you either are going to have to glue it down or use some handy tack or something like that to keep it on there. I think they should have made a more robust mounting system for this guy because it just constantly pops off. It's just, you have to be careful with it. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. So you have to treat it with kid gloves, I'm afraid. So that is the end of my addendum. Let's get into the H.A.U.L here. So we got the instructions and just kind of goes over how to install the windshield, where to put the windows and the M240, let's see, and all of that. So you can pause the video if you would like to take a look at that, read it. But it's pretty simple and straightforward. At least it was for me. I mean, I need simple and straightforward, so I'm very happy for that. So let's dive into this guy and let's start installing some stuff. Let's see, what should we do first? So, well, let's go ahead and do a front window, or a front door here, or a passenger side door, I should say. Talking like it's a house. And have to kind of feel around and find the 3 pegs. And there we go. Okay, we got that. And it's really cool that there are bullet holes, scuffing, scuff marks, all that kind of stuff. Reminds me of when I would take a silver paint pen and put bullet holes on my HISS tank. I know I did that on my HISS tank. Probably went a little overboard, but yeah. So that's pretty cool that they added that extra detail. So it kind of gives it that lived-in look. And let me just say, I'm going to pop out this window because I want to put in the open window and show you how the M240 is installed. And it just kind of pops out like that. So that is cool. And I guess either one is fine. Make sure the little peg hole goes over and it pops into place just fine, looks like. And let's see, should I go ahead and do, I'm wondering if this is the best way. Well, you see what I'm talking about? That M240 just doesn't want to stay on there. And I don't have the little short bullet belt, cartridge belt, because it also causes it to fall off. So let's go ahead and put this thing back on here. Where's the hole? There it is. And am I doing it right? It only goes one way. Oh, I may have it the wrong way. Yep. Okay, so there you go. You can install it that way and then put a figure in there. That's pretty cool. And obviously there is 2 windows, so you can do it on either side. You can always move it. But let's go ahead and see if I can get this thing in without much fuss. Nope, that's not working. Ugh. Ah, there we go. Okay. Closes up just fine. Looks really good. Let's do a little zoom in so you can see the bullet holes a little better. And I like the added scuffing and the little paint. Gives it some good texture and everything. Looks really good. I like this. It's a nice addition. So let's back out. And okay, let's close that. And already it's fallen off. So, yep, a poor 240. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to pull my table out. Give myself a little more room. You're kind of seeing behind the curtain here, because my table's a little too small. It's just fine for figures, but I haven't ever done a 112 vehicle before, so you're kind of seeing behind the curtain. All right, so we got the windshield cover, and I think it goes like this, and then you snap it in like that, and it is pretty snug. So yeah, and it's not too warped. I've seen some reviews of this where some of these slats are a little warped, but it kind of gives it character. Mine seemed fairly straight, so even if they were a little warped, I wouldn't have minded because it adds to the battle damage. So that's cool. You can see more, silver paint, like it's it's black plastic, but they've added some texture to kind of look like that it's, you know, maybe steel, like wrought iron steel or something like that. You know, underneath there, kind of showing through. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's get the winch off, and we will put the brush guard on here, which I think is probably the coolest part of this accessory pack. And well, there we go. Well, I am having a hard time. You know, it wasn't this hard the first time I put it on. There we go. So very cool. I definitely like it. It feels fairly solid, or very solid. And I guess it fits on right there and it wraps around very well. I guess I was kind of hoping it was going to snap in a couple of other places. So it's only has the two contact points, the two holes down here, and but it doesn't. It's not loose or anything like that. So you can display it just like that, or you can take this really wicked looking cow catcher and put it onto. It has two holes right here, and you can add that. So smile for the camera. Very cool. And let's see, let's take a look at it from the side. And it does not, it's not hitting the ground. Yeah, doesn't impede in any way, although it is very close to touching the ground. So might have to take a look at that, see if I can't bring it up just a touch, or maybe might have to sand this down a little bit. So yeah, this piece right here, this front spike, might have to sand that a little bit right there just to keep it from hitting the floor, hitting the ground. But other than that, it looks really cool. And I'm definitely going to display it with both of these pieces on it because, hey, why not? Like, you're paying for both of them. Might as well display it with both. Know what I'm saying? So, okay. So there we got that. I think that's on there fairly good and snug. All right, we got two more doors to put on. And I guess I will leave this door, I'll leave this window, leave the slat version. I won't have the open one. And let's see if we can get this guy. All right, got that closed. And then we got the driver's side door, and Mr. Reaper is already in there. And boom. Okay. And then we can put our machine gun back up here. And there we go. That is the hull. So you have, you know, a few options. Now, I tried, because of the side mirrors, you can snap these out. They're snap in. Obviously, they got them in, but it's going to be hard. I wouldn't risk possibly, you know, I'm sure somebody industrious enough could probably get these out, but I would not recommend it out of fear that you're going to break off these side mirrors. So there are tabs in there, and I think it would snap out just as easily as everything else. but there may be some collateral damage. So there you go. That's the haul. There is our upgrade loadout. I have to say, I really like it. Adds more character, and you know, and then you can swap out the doors. Like if you have the doors with the logo on it, um, you can almost treat it like two different vehicles in a way. So, like one's just rolled off the factory floor, and one's seen some battle, one seen some trouble, some fighting, some action. Is the force of action. All right, guys. So that is it. I hope I'm not forgetting anything else like I did in the previous video. But let me know what you think in the comments section. I do think this is some great additions to this particular vehicle. Definitely glad to have it. Everything fits well, um, other than the central um, spike being a little too low and probably needing to be sanded down a little bit. I wouldn't complain about pretty much anything about this. Everything works well. It goes in well. It's got some good character. Um, if anything, I know that you're only seeing the damage on the doors. I'm wondering if that might be something we'll get down the line, like maybe some decals for, some bullet hole decals or something like that, scorch marks, burn marks, something like that. That would be pretty cool. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm going to give this accessory pack a warp factor of 9. So I think I've given everything a 9. This is a really, probably should rate it a little higher. The I think the vehicle itself is probably deserving of a higher rating, but I'm going to stick with 9. I was thinking more about that, but yeah, let me know. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Continue to be awesome, guys, and I will talk to you next time.